here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
All right, we're live on YouTube. Welcome anybody who's watching us live on YouTube. Welcome back to the final Monday night broadcast of fantaCTE for this season. What do you got going on there, Steve? Are you
forwarding this? I'm going to promote the podcast.
Oh, okay. All it is feedback right now. My name's Nick Masick. Welcome back. I'll be your host. On the bottom, right below me, you've got Lonnie Cox. Over here, you've got, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just curious. Vital DeJuiced. And our special guest in the bottom corner, we have Steve Lamb.
Woo!
Welcome back to the podcast, Steve. Thanks for joining us. This is a big week for us. So, championship week, Lonnie versus Steve. What happened, Lonnie?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
My real question, the first question I have is, Lonnie, did you care yesterday? Did you pay attention?
Yeah, I did care. Definitely cared.
I'm not being a dick. I was actually insulted when you left Alan in. I'm sure it was by mistake.
I had no idea. I use the app on my phone.
Right.
And when you're in the matchup thing, it doesn't show like out questionable, and that's how I was following it. And I don't have like alerts that pop up on my phone, injury reports or anything like that. And apparently they took them out right before the game, right?
No,
I didn't see how early. Steve said he thought he was out
early.
early.
I was actually hanging out with some people, and I was the guy who's into fantasy stuff, and he's asking me where I was and yada yada.
Yeah.
About you, and he goes, "Does he have Alan?" And I look, I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, Why is he still having there? Because he knew, and I don't know when. That was maybe within an hour before the game.
Right. I mean, I was doing stuff. I wasn't necessarily like watching the games all day, but yeah, I didn't get any alert that he wasn't there. And it's funny because right before the games were starting, I was like between him and Amari Cooper. And something was telling me to put in Amari Cooper, but I'm like, Amari Cooper is very like up and down. Keenan Allen's pretty consistent. It's a division game in Denver. And then, yeah, out. So here's the thing is it probably wouldn't have really mattered,
I was gonna say, what do you still need to have happen?
I have no idea because I stopped looking at it. I don't even know what the score is.
99 points tonight.
Yeah, like something like that.
Literally 99 points.
How many people do you have?
Stephon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs to score.
Yeah, I lost
but that wouldn't
my
have made
biggest
much of a
loss of the
difference
season. I scored the lowest points I've ever scored. My bench outperformed my starting lineup.
Absolutely.
None of that has ever happened to me the whole season. So just a real shitty way to end the season. I at least wanted to be competitive,
Yeah.
By the way, I was bummed out because I was talking to Nick about the game earlier that week about, if anything, you have a guy playing Monday, and I was like, okay, so Monday I'll be like, all right, I hope Lonnie doesn't score 25 points or something like that.
Right.
And I was all like, oh, this is anticlimactic because I won it like 2:30 yesterday afternoon.
I know.
It was ugly. It was a shellacking. In the 3 leagues that I'm in, I won one of them. And in the other 2, one of them I got second. The other 2 leagues both had Devontae Adams. Like he was the league winner yesterday, I think, in a bunch of leagues probably.
I was saying that Devontae Adams got to be – is he not the best wide receiver in fantasy points this year?
Yeah, definitely.
He's above him.
Absolutely.
He's easily number 1 in fantasy points. He destroyed
I
it.
can't think of a better wide receiver.
No. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for passing him. So Steve, we're gonna have an official presentation, but this is your trophy for
It looks much bigger when you put it just on a table or something.
I know that's what happens.
Very beautiful, by the way.
It is nice. It's veiny and it's got a large head on it.
I'm excited about that. I had one more comment about yesterday that I felt slighted in the early game when they took out Brady after the third quarter because he already had 35 points. I'm like, I could use another 10 or 12 points. What are you doing? I was so bitter. But then
when they did that, I was like, oh, Lonnie's got a chance because we were texting. And Lonnie's like, fuck my life. And then they benched him for the second half. They rested him for the second half.
Yeah.
And like he had 34. He easily could have had 50 easily in that game.
Easily.
Barely doing.
I wanted to. I just wanted to, not that I wanted to run it up on Lonnie. I just wanted to get as many as possible at that point. Well, at that point, I didn't know I was winning. I just wanted to go, everybody give me 50, please. I need 3 guys to give me 50.
Yeah. It was a big thing. But yeah, Brady. And we'll talk more about Brady too. But anyway, congratulations to our first and second place finishers from the Dick Pick 6 Fantasy Football League. You guys were great this year. Great seasons throughout. Neither one of you was a big upset. Our third place finisher was a bit of a surprise. Jay Guy, after starting 0-3, pulled through and made a run through the playoffs that was nobody really expected, and he finished in third place. So shout out to Jay Guy. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but he's and Jay also interested. He's going to produce our Super Bowl special, I believe. So we're going to probably do a live broadcast for pre-Super Bowl, and Jay is going to be our producer. He's going to make it real nice, hopefully.
Should we already start coming with the sketches for Lonnie's henna tattoo then?
Ooh. Well, hold on a second. The henna tattoo, I'm in last place right now. We'll get to worst QB picks in a minute, but let's run down some league news from some of the games yesterday or this past weekend. Kamara, first of all, we should give a shout out to Alvin Kamara. What do you do? 6 touchdowns. Tied the league record for most rushing touchdowns, or was it most total touchdowns? Whatever it was.
No, he tied the record, but as far as I'm concerned, he holds the record. The last guy that did it was in like 1920 something, so he has the NFL record.
Yeah, they weren't throwing the ball at all.
I was going to say before the invention of the forward pass, was that one?
Right.
Yeah, so that was pretty incredible. I'm sure some teams had Kamara in the championship, so they probably did really well too. 60, I think he scored 60 or almost 60 points.
He's my favorite fucking running back, dude.
He's unbelievably so. He's so good.
Yeah.
Incredible. Interesting.
A lot of those touchdowns, he didn't touch the ground. Like a lot of those touchdowns, he bounced off 3-4 guys. This is the NFL. This isn't the park.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he ended up on his feet. I don't know if you guys know, but that is incredibly impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just an unbelievable talent. And so they looked really good again, even after coming off their loss to the Chiefs. So they're going to be right there up to the end, I think. Both of them and the Packers, they both looked really, really dominant.
Yo, the Packers were fucking killer. Their defense, dude. Oh.
Yeah. Who did they play though? That was not. Oh, the Tennessee Titans. They have a good offense. They have the number 1 offense. So yeah, their defense did really step up. It was a snow game. For whatever that's worth. I don't know if you take.
But a snow game with Derrick Henry should be cake.
Yep, Derrick Henry. they contained him to just barely under 100 yards. So.
Hey, right. Tannehill had like the best run on that team, though. Did you see his touchdown run?
Yes,
it was awesome.
60.
It was really good. It was nice. But another team will throw in there for the NFC that just looked incredibly dominant yesterday was the Bucks. Or not yesterday, was it 2 days ago? Whenever the Bucks played. What was it?
Saturday, I think.
47-7. I mean,
it was disgusting.
I know it was the Lions, but still 47-7. Like that, they look like they are just getting super hot. So I really want to see those teams match up in the playoffs. I want to see the Bucks, the Packers, the Saints. I want to see some collision course with those 3 teams. And I think we're going to get at least one of those matchups at some point. So yeah, really impressive stuff from those 3 teams. How about the Fitzmagic play? Oh man, it was. You posted the meme about it. That was one of the most underrated, incredible plays I've ever seen. Right?
Sure, dude. I would say this: if Patrick Mahomes does that, ESPN wouldn't shut up about it for months. Because it was Fitzmagic. They're playing it low, but that was crazy, man.
It was nuts. It was a wild play, and I do love the fact that. Mahomes actually commented on it though. Like he was like, "This is the best no-look pass of all time," and it's magic, like being twisted sideways.
I got a question about Fitzmagic.
What do you got?
You think he is this good all the time, which I doubt, or is it because he's got no pressure. When they put him in, he's like, he can fuck up and it's okay. You know, basically, it's like when I play golf every 3 years, I do great because I'm not thinking about it. No pressure. Doesn't matter if I suck. So he's going in and every time they put him in, he's amazing. You know, but they only put him in once in a blue moon.
To me, what I've seen from him is he does when he has no pressure, that's when he thrives. When the team is not expecting anything from him, that is generally when he thrives. I don't know, because how many games has he played that have been under pressure?
I feel like he's way more of a I don't know the word, a relief pitcher QB. Is there an equivalent of that? Because like he comes in when the pressure's on. I think it's the opposite. I think he can't manage like a full game, but coming in from behind when he's the underdog, I think he thrives in that environment.
Did they pull Tua? I didn't watch that whole game. Did they pull him?
Yep. They did the same thing they did like 3 weeks ago, and it was because they needed to go up tempo. And they actually talked about it on the broadcast because it was all the stuff that we were questioning when they first did it that one time. They addressed all that stuff in the broadcast because there's been a lot of conversations about it. And apparently the locker room's not divided. Tua gets it because he's like, at this stage of his development, he's like, I'm just not as good at certain things as Fitzpatrick is. And so when we need to execute in these types of situations, he's like, I get it. He's better. He should be the one that's in there. It's a crazy dynamic that I've never seen in the NFL before.
I love it.
Especially for a winning team. It is. It's really cool. But they said like
Tua views Fitzmagic really as a mentor. It's not a competition. Like he knows Fitzmagic's there to help him. He does not feel threatened. It's not like a weird thing, dude.
But he's also the closer. He's not a reliever. He's a closer. Like that's what they're using him as. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And they said that all the players in the Dolphins locker room, they're not divided. They're supportive of both of them. They love both the guys. And it's one of the strangest, most unique situations I've ever seen in any NFL like locker room. And on the field. It's happened twice now. And this one, he pulled it out. He did. You're right. So Steve, I guess to your question was, is he better under pressure or not? And I don't know. It's like he is under pressure, but at the same time, he's kind of not. They're just like giving him like, throw him in there and see if you can do it. Kind of.
But I think it's a different kind of pressure.
There's no pressure.
Like being the guy from the very beginning, it's a lot like Nick Foles. They say Nick Foles can't be a full QB, but if you bring him in, all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. It's this hero thing in their head, dude. Come and get off the bench.
But he's not the starter, so he gets to come in and be like, the expectation is the word. Well, I can either kick ass, but if I don't, I'm still not the starter. It doesn't matter,
right?
You know?
Yeah, that's
like whatever. It's a whatever kind of situation. It's like you could pick up a girl when you don't care if you were trying to pick up that girl or not. But if you want to, you can't pick her up.
Too thirsty. He wants it too bad.
That's a good point. That is true. It's somewhere in between though, because I think he is also kind of that closer role. Like he's not a starting pitcher, he's a closer. Right? There's a difference. The starting pitcher has to perform all game long. The closer just has to come in and ball out for a little while. Right.
Yeah, he comes in fresh. He's like, come on, try and get me.
Yeah. And you haven't seen my shit all day. So I'm going to throw something different at you and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And that really is kind of how he looked in that game. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens in the plaffs
how far do you think the Dolphins get in the playoffs in the AFC?
The Dolphins are, who do they play next week? There's really interesting scenarios, playoff scenarios. Do you know who it is? Is it the Bills? Might be the Bills.
I think it is the Bills, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Bills.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will depend on if the Bills, what happens tonight, if the Bills seeding is locked up or if they're still moving.
I feel like we have a 75% chance of making it. It's one of those situations, a lot of the Dolphins could still lose and then
get in. Yeah. No, they're definitely the team that needs the most help is the Colts. Everybody else can win and get in as far as it's the Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns. They're all win and get in. Colts need help. So I think I'd like to see the Dolphins in there, but it will be interesting to see what happens with Fitzpatrick if they get into one of those playoff situations. Like, what are you going to do? When do you bring him in? How much do you rely on him? So
the only thing going in our favor is actually that's a division game though, dude. And I feel like we always split division games.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think the Dolphins have a very good chance at beating the Bills, as good as they are. I agree. How about the Browns game? Oof. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. What you expected.
I expected, so I picked the Browns as one of the teaser picks this past week. And I expected the Browns to have all of their starting wide receivers. Like, they had no receivers for that game. They all got bent. They all were not allowed to play.
Yeah, but beyond their receivers, the fucking defense was shit too, man. Crowder balled out on them.
Yeah, Crowder did well. I know, you're right. But I mean,
Crowder did great on my bench. Motherfucker.
Get a lot of points.
Even Crowder wouldn't have helped you win, I don't think, though, Lonnie. Let's be honest.
No, but if I would have, I never would have done that. But if I would have played Crowder, Deshaun Watson, and there was one other person that did very, very, Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
Like if I would have, which I've never played all three of them ever once this season, but if I would have done that, I might have had a chance. And then Amari Cooper, obviously. I'm telling you, my bench outperformed. I never did that the whole season.
I saw your bench. I was watching. I noticed. Yeah, you.
I left Zeke on the bench and Gaskin. Zeke finally had a game, and Gaskin had a holy shit game.
Yeah, you could have won by a whole lot.
I put Bell in for 4.2 points. Happy birthday.
I was surprised by that. I thought Bell was going to see a lot more action.
Yeah, but that game was crazy, dude. All the running backs were getting off. Like, David Williams kept running good, dude. Like, Williams, that's all. Damien Williams had a really good run game.
Darrell Williams. Damien's
Darrell,
he sat out. But that game wasn't there wasn't a lot going on in that game. I mean, that was a pretty defensive struggle, too. Even that. Even with the Chiefs and the Falcons, those high-powered offenses didn't do shit.
Oh, yeah, they missed that kick. The Falcons, what's up? They're cursed, bro.
Kick, you're right. Oh, I forgot about that young way cool kick. Yeah, that was crazy. But so anyway, the Browns, no receivers. Jets beat us on the teaser pick again. Not great. 2 weeks in a row. You know what? Sorry, but also it's the Jets. I did not expect I don't think the Jets would have won that game if it wasn't for the Browns receivers being out, because they still had a chance at the end. And there were a couple throws that were dropped, straight up drops by guys who are, they're practice squad guys. You don't expect them to make every catch. But situations where if you had Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, those guys.
It's a catch. No, I agree.
Yeah, that game would have probably looked a little bit.
That changes the momentum a lot.
It does. So you win some, you lose some. Jaguars, though. And the Jets, again, they won. What the fuck? Like, they don't want the Jaguars have the number one pick. It's done. It's a done deal. What do you guys think about that? What do we think the Jags are going to do?
They're going to get Trevor Lawrence.
You think they're going to take Trevor Lawrence for sure?
For sure.
Lonnie?
Who they got? Gardner. Come on. That's crazy.
Who do they do? What do they do? I think the number 2 pick, the number 3 pick are defensive linemen. There's a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman. I think those are the projected top 3 picks. I mean, the Jaguars are in a real rebuild mode. So, I mean, are they going to build their offense around an offensive tackle? The
Jaguars offense did look pretty good under Gardner Minshew a number of times this year.
Right.
The defense looked awful. How dominant is this defensive?
Let me check it out. Hold on. Let's see.
Is he a Chase Young kind of guy? Because if he's a Chase Young type.
He's not. If he was a Chase Young kind of guy, I would know his name.
So, yeah, I guess you're going to see.
You need someone to rebuild around, dude. I say you have to take that chance, dude. This is like the way they talk about Trevor Lawrence, it's a generational talent. So you got to gamble it.
That's what I don't understand about the Jets, though. It's like, if you have a generational talent at quarterback and you have a good defense, why are you not tanking for Trevor? Like, you really should have. And
I like it. No tanks, bro. It will work out for them.
I know you don't like the idea of tanking, but it does happen, and it would have probably been the right thing to do in this situation. And even if, I thought about this week, even if Trevor says, I'm not going to play for the Jets, you still have that draft pick equity. You can trade out to another team that does want
for
him.
First round.
So it's actually saying here
you get
that no matter what, the Jets are going to take a quarterback.
Oh God.
So it is a toss-up kind of saying. So everybody is now pretty much consistently saying that Trevor Lawrence is going to go to Jacksonville. That's pretty much a lock for the number 1 spot. You never know though. Jacksonville might
they might
see
trade
something that we don't.
I was gonna say they could trade out of that spot too.
They could, but I don't see why they would. I mean, you're passing up on what arguably, since he was I think junior in high school, have been saying that he's the next, generational quarterback in the NFL.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think you've got the first round pick. You got an opportunity. You might as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might as well take the chance on Trevor Lawrence. Number 2 is going to be the Jets. I'm seeing something here between Justin Fields and Zach. Is it Zach Young, the guy from Brigham Young? What's his name? Hold on. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson.
So you
think the quarterback from BYU, he's pretty good. He's a gangster also. I mean, obviously, and then you guys remember who has the number 3 pick right now, right?
No, who is it?
The Dolphins. The Dolphins have the Texans' first round pick this year for Laramie Tunsil.
So if we get an offensive lineman there, dude.
So they're saying I'm reading between 2 different things. I'm seeing between that gangster from Oregon, the offensive tackle from Oregon. Mm-hmm. That's the guy I was thinking of. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also seeing the receiver from LSU could be a possible pick for him as well. And he's also,
I like LSU receivers.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's his name?
Either one of those seems like it's a great fit for Miami. So, well, don't give us too much because we are going to do a draft special at some point here.
Okay.
But that's the insight that's basically what we're looking like. So we do think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a Jaguar.
Yeah.
And what you're reading is that the Jets are going to take a quarterback, which makes it even more like head scratching.
I'm seeing it now in 3 different draft projections that the Jets are pretty much definitely going to go with a quarterback this year.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just
crazy. It is crazy because I guess is Sam Darnold up already? I don't know, man. I think they're just going to have a revolving door of quarterbacks who waste their careers at the Jets. If they don't address their offensive line and their running game, you can do whatever you want, man. But
they should build up their team first.
I was going to say, It seems like the Jets at the number 2 pick, especially if they can find any takers, and it's hard to get takers for that number 2 pick if there's not a clear, player that's definitely that guy, like a Chase Young.
Yeah,
it seems like it would be a good opportunity for them to trade out of that to try to get more picks, or maybe even bring in somebody else.
My barometer for that kind of thing, it's like if you put Sam Darnold on the 2012 Seahawks, how does he do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think Sam Darnold is a decent quarterback, and he would take that team pretty far. Is he going to win the Super Bowl? Is he going to take them all the way to the NFC Championship? I don't know. Maybe. But is he going to destroy their season? Probably not. Yeah. Is Josh Rosen going to do that well with the 2012 Seahawks? Probably not. So that's really my barometer with a quarterback, when they're giving up on somebody so quickly.
I think and that's kind of what I was thinking too. It's like, it's all right. If you're not going to get Trevor Lawrence, maybe you ride Sam Darnold for another year or 2 and see what you got.
You should. He's not a bad quarterback. He really is.
Or you take this offensive tackle, that everybody's saying. These are draft projections. They're almost always a little wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot can happen. Sure. But Sam Darnold, he was drafted he's still very young. He was drafted as a 20 or 21-year-old. And he's had not a great opportunity to develop, and he's had some injury issues. So he hasn't really had like a full 3 years as a starter with a great system and a great supporting cast around him to really see what he's got. And honestly, last couple of weeks, he's looked pretty good against defenses that
I bet he ends up going to the Pats.
Who?
I don't hate that at all.
I think that'd be a good fit for him.
You think
I don't hate Darnold to the Pats?
The Pats?
Yeah.
What?
I think the Pats are going to try to if they get their defensive players coming back, I think the Pats are going to make a serious run at Matt Stafford. They still have enough.
And he's just a little old, don't you think?
Stafford?
Like, that's another Cam Newton. What's the point?
No, it's different. He fits their system better.
Yeah.
I think he fits their system, but I do think he's old, bro. I don't think he's going to be
that old. He's not that. He's Stafford. If you look at him,
33, maybe 32.
He's early 30s. If you look at his healthy seasons, now health has been an issue occasionally. If you look at the seasons that he's played healthy, he can make all the throws. He throws for 5,000 yards multiple times in his career. Like, he is a huge part of why any of those receivers have been successful at all. And that team has had any success. He's never had a running game in Detroit. So I think Stafford is an incredible talent that's been largely wasted in Detroit. And I think he's still
definitely.
I mean, even the last game where he was kind of banged up, he didn't play this. He got knocked out early this week, but the week before he was kind of banged up and he still balled out.
He's the toughest man in the NFL.
I'm not saying Stafford's bad. Don't get twisted. I just think Sam Darnold is a better investment for the future for the Pats.
Also, I mean, the Patriot. Let's see here. This is a quarterback heavy draft. I could see the Patriots potentially picking somebody up in the draft as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a bad move, but I think they're still going to try to make a run at Stafford.
If these guys are available, I mean, you're looking at Kyle Trask and Mac Jones from Alabama. Like you've got guys that could potentially produce for your team, especially on a team like the Pats where it's not really all on the quarterback.
Sure.
They rarely do draft big QBs, right? Don't they usually trade?
They got Jimmy G in the second round.
They did have Jimmy G. Yep. And then they traded him for some draft capital.
And they also had Ryan Mallett. They've drafted pretty decently.
Yeah. They had Jacoby Brissett. They've developed some guys in that system behind Brady. And I think
that's what I'm saying, developing.
Yeah. But exactly. And that's why I think Stafford would be great because he could be really good and make them competitive for a few years and also give another a younger QB time to develop underneath.
Yeah, someone to develop behind.
Yeah, I think that would be a great system, a great fit, because it'd be great for the fan base too. Like I want to see Stafford. I want to see a great defense plus Matt Stafford. That's a winning recipe with Bill Belichick as your mastermind.
Yeah, I like Matt Stafford. I want good things for him. But I feel like he's going to be like Phillip Rivers.
I know. I would love to see Stafford go out with a Super Bowl. I think anywhere, really. I mean, just at least even a late, deep run into the playoffs would make me happy for Stafford. A couple of
them. I mean, at least a chance.
Yeah, just give him a shot with a good team. So, how about Haskins release? Did you guys see that today?
I did see that.
Surprised.
Not surprised either.
First round quarterbacks not making it. That was
not that. I mean, I don't think you've ever seen a first round QB get cut this fast.
What about Jamarcus Russell?
No, Jamarcus. I looked it up. Jamarcus Russell did 3 seasons in Oakland.
3 seasons. They should have cut.
And he played 30 something games over the course of his career. Johnny Manziel played, I believe, 22 games, something like that. Dwayne Haskins, 16.
Well, I will say this, though. I think Haskins has a better shot at making it on another team than either of those two guys did. I do.
I think he's done.
I don't think so.
I think he's got a shot if he has to show it though.
Oh, he'll get a shot. He'll get a workout or something like that, but I don't think he makes another NFL roster.
I do. So here's why. Because preseason, you have to this is one of the things that came out of that camp. Ron Rivera said he won the quarterback job.
Oh, he's not. It's not talent.
But he was working. He knows how to work and prepare. They said once he won it, though, he kind of let off the gas.
Right.
So he's good enough, and he also knows how to prepare, which I don't think either Manziel or Russell knew how to prepare to win a starting job. I think they were just handed it, and Haskins did. He won a starting job, and then he just he needs to grow up, from what it sounds like. So I think he'll land as a backup, maybe third stringer somewhere, and get an opportunity to maybe work his way up again. He's only 23.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot. I'm reading the draft projections right now. Would you take Dwayne Haskins over somebody new? I wouldn't.
You're going to get him for the cheap, though. And then if you have a team that you need to rebuild behind, you're just going to throw Dwayne Haskins out there.
The thing is, though, dude, is you've got this draft is so deep with good, decent quarterbacks that you're gonna be finding some of these guys. Like some of these guys are gonna fall, man. So not all these guys are gonna go in the first round. So you're gonna have some of these guys available in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that are gonna end up that in any other draft would have been 1st and 2nd rounders.
Really?
That's how. Maybe not. Maybe 2nd and 3rd. But this is a deep, deep quarterback draft. Probably the deepest one in a long time. So I'm looking just right now conservatively. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 first round QBs in this draft alone. That's a lot.
That's a lot. You got to remember, though, Dwayne Haskins, first round talent. He was a first round QB talent. And
I think he's still in it, dude. He's not. I personally think he can do it. I don't think he will because I think he likes partying too much, but I think he has the ability to.
See, I think that's maybe he takes a year before he gets on a squad again. Maybe he has to really work hard and prove it. It really depends on him, I think, than anything else.
Right.
But I think he'll get other opportunities. So that's I think he'll have a chance to make another NFL team. But yeah, that's a
he will get a chance. I would say he will get a workout for sure.
Oh, he'll definitely get workouts. He'll get camps. He'll be in camp next year. I think he'll be in someone's camp, at least one next year.
Man, I am getting excited now. I'm looking at these draft projections. I'm getting excited.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll talk about what our future schedule is going to be. This is other big news. Did you see this? They approved 17 weeks of regular season games next year. 17 games per team, regular season.
Oh.
2021, instead of 16 games, teams are going to play 17 games. I'm pretty sure.
So then they're going to get 2 bye weeks?
No, I don't know about that. I don't know that it's going to affect the playoffs.
Because that's how it used to be. There used to be 2 bye weeks.
Well, yeah, up until this year.
No.
What? 2 bye weeks? What do you mean?
There was only one bye week.
I don't think. I didn't see anything about bye weeks. No, I think they're just going to shorten the preseason. Like one of the preseason games is now going to count as a regular season game, which I like. I love that. 2 or 3 preseason games. That's all you need. Like by the last preseason game, they're just playing the scrubs anyway.
NFL players hate the preseason. It's like the bane of their existence.
Yeah, like what's the point? And then guys get hurt in the preseason too. It's like, you're gonna get hurt. Be playing a game that counts. Right?
I mean, you do need a couple games to get your body right, for sure. Yeah. But like 3 or 4. I mean, remember it used to be 6 a couple years ago?
Was it 6? I don't know.
I did not. I forgot.
Was it 6 or was it? What is it now?
4. It was. 4. It's always been 4. None.
If it's 4 now, then it was 6 a couple years ago.
I don't remember that. 6.
They shortened it. They recently shortened the preseason. You guys don't remember that?
This year,
I don't remember that.
No, years before. Like I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, they shortened the preseason.
I believe you because you're like football. You're like our football historian, dude.
Let's see.
I disagree. I think I'm 100% wrong on this one. No way. If it was 6 preseason games,
that's a lot of preseason football, bro.
I'd have been bored with the season by the 6th game of the preseason.
Never. Like I'd be like, this is done. We'd be playing a whole fantasy league of preseason games. Like that was what we could do, a mini fantasy preseason. Which doesn't sound terrible either.
Like, who are you picking? All the bad guys.
The worst, guys you've never heard of, the bottom of the bench. You're like, oh, he's gonna be playing this game. So, all right. Well, anyway, while you're figuring out that you're wrong, Lonnie. So here's what I'm thinking in terms of how it affects the fantasy season. All right. So picture this: we have one more week of fantasy, right? Essentially, like one more week of meaningful games. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm thinking. So the goal of the league is to have 14 teams, right? Oh, has been 4 weeks. It's always been 4 weeks. Thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate you. 6 weeks.
It's a lot of football.
They reduced it though. They definitely shortened the preseason though, didn't they?
They definitely did not. They did do some things. They shortened a bunch of stuff for players in like preseason.
They shorten I feel like they did change something, but I think it's about the scheduling. Like I think they moved back when they started the preseason or when they
was training camp. Maybe it had to do with the number of weeks of training camp that they had or something.
Okay, from 1970 to 1977, there were 6 preseason.
You don't remember that, Lonnie.
I'm watching. I'm reading. I'm watching right now.
1970 to 19. Steve, do you remember this?
I was 1 in 1970. So that was 50 years ago. I'm not good at math.
1977. You look like you should remember that, though, Lonnie. That beard. Your beard remembers it. Lonnie's beard is like, I remember when there were 6 preseason games.
Right.
Lonnie's beard. It's funny you're talking about that because right now I'm on the internet looking up. I'm trying to find a picture. I was looking at President Polk because I thought he had a beard like Lonnie, but he doesn't. I'm looking for a president because you look very presidential from side angle.
Something something you'd never hear.
Steve,
You know, people have told me that before. Like when I first started comedy at Robot, when Mike Cintron used to bring me up, and he'd be like, "The future mayor of Boca Raton," and people would like look at me and really think I was running for mayor. Like it was people did not know that he was lying. And like I've had other people say that about me before, so maybe I need to change my my career path a little bit.
All right, Lonnie, I'm going to change it from Polk. You look like James Garfield, the president in 1881.
Bro, Steve, that's how I know you're old. Look at the presidents you're referencing, bro.
Right.
Garfield was when I was in middle school.
No one knows who that guy looks like. I can't imagine.
I looked it up. What do you mean? We all went to school.
You better start Kennedy up, bro. That's it. And then
it was right before they started doing 6 preseason games. That's when that was.
Exactly.
Around the same time period. So, but let's talk about the fantasy ramifications of having 17 weeks of actual games. So 18 weeks of football, essentially, with one bye, I assume. But every team's going to play one more week of fantasy, at least one more week of fantasy football. Here's what I'm proposing. I think we should, A, still try to get up to 14 teams, right? That's our goal. B, still have 13 weeks of regular season fantasy weeks. The only thing that I propose we change is, because obviously we're going to have to restructure the playoffs a little bit in terms of buys and whatnot. I think we should do what your league did, Vital, in that the championship week is 2 weeks. I say that's what we do with the extra week.
I like that. I like a doubleheader, man.
Yeah, doubleheader.
It really makes it clear.
So as the championship game between the two same guys, they got to play 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the cumulative points for or whoever wins, whatever.
Yes.
Is it who wins the game or cumulative points?
It's cumulative points because nothing else makes, because you could get 1-1 and it's always points. Yeah.
So basically, like you and Lonnie would be at halftime right now. Now, Lonnie,
I'd feel very comfortable if this was
still have a pretty solid lead.
Hey, but things can happen.
But it does make it more interesting. So I think we do that for the toilet bowl, right? I think the last place, give them 2 weeks also. Give the third place, give them 2 weeks. Any placing. And I think we're actually also going to do I think I'm going to throw this in the mix for next year, especially if we have a couple more teams. I think we're going to do a first place in the losers bracket is going to get like $25 in scratch tickets. How fun is that, right? I mean, you might win nothing. You might win $10. You might win $5,000.
That could work out even better than winning.
Right. Yeah. Why doesn't the winner get $25 scratches?
Because it could just be $25 worth of trash.
It could be nothing. Yeah, it could be garbage. Who knows? It's just, I don't know. It's like take $25, which is very little, or maybe it'll be less. Who knows? And just buy a bunch of scratch tickets, and that goes for the winner.
This entire podcast is sponsored by gambling. I'm just throwing it out there.
We like to diversify.
How do we get a specific gambling sponsorship?
We really do need that. I mean, I think I'm going to try for DraftKings next year. I think we'll see, because we're going to start running these DraftKings tournaments every week, and I'll be able to show if we get enough people to play for the last few weeks of into the playoffs and whatnot. That'll be something that I can throw out there and be like, listen, this is our participation, this is our viewership. But yeah, we're going to try.
I want to hit the sports books that are out of like Costa Rica and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are they're already taking our money if we're playing teasers, because my teasers haven't been very good since I posted them. You know what I don't like? And this is something I called them about this. So the one that I picked like 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, when they moved the Steelers game, I got all those right, but they canceled the bet. Because of COVID, they moved the Steelers game. They didn't change. None of the players changed. They just moved the time and day. Canceled bet. The Browns weren't allowed to play any of their wide receivers. Canceled bet? Nope. So one that I should have won got canceled. This one that,
it's a gambling thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving a game is a big deal.
I just think they shouldn't have canceled the other one.
The Steelers.
I don't see why they canceled the Steelers.
Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. It's like if that one gets canceled because of weird COVID situations, you should also cancel when the team doesn't get any of their wide receivers.
Because it's betting, right? Isn't that the whole point? What betting? because
sure they have
Jordan might get a flu. Like,
I'm sure they have dialogue in their information that they're allowed to do that. And I also am sure that if that game went off, they were gonna lose money.
What, the Steelers game?
Yes. So when the moment that game moved, as a business decision, they're like, okay, we were going to lose our asses on this,
for sure.
teasers and all that stuff. We can cancel. It's canceled.
Yeah.
If they were going to win, if the house was going to win on that game, it wouldn't have been canceled.
I agree, Steve.
Anyway, I should have, based on those two scenarios, my record should have been much better on teasers this year. But
We'll put an asterisk next to it.
That's how it goes. Yeah, it's okay. I'm still up personally, but since I started posting them and sharing them, not great. But I hit like a bunch of
believe in you, Nick.
seasons. So next year, and we're gonna keep doing them. So play along because it's bound to even out. That's how it works. But next year, starting from the first week that I do it, we'll post all of them because I have a very good record so far. All right, so you guys like that. So we'll have 4 tournament matchups going 2 weeks in a row at the end of the season next year for fantasy. We'll have the first place matchup 2 weeks. We'll have the third place matchup 2 weeks. We'll have the first place for the losers bracket 2 weeks and the last place for the losers bracket. So essentially there'll be 8 teams of the 14 or whatever that will still be engaged and actively participating in fantasy right up through the end of whatever week 17 it is. So
I like it. More fantasy football, man.
More fantasy football. That's the whole goal, right? That's just it. Last thing one of the other last things I want to talk about, NFC East, Lonnie, your Super Bowl pick. They're in play.
They got a chance.
I know. So you're telling me
that would be crazy. Could you imagine?
No, I can't. I cannot imagine. I almost can though, because they looked really good against the Eagles. They're receivers.
But also, I think the Eagles are back to being the Eagles again.
Deshaun Jackson, though, remember I talked last week. I was like, Deshaun Jackson's back. He's going to stretch the field. Bomb to Deshaun Jackson. Just like he looked like the old DJ. I wonder what he's going to do next year. If he looks like he still can play.
He's had such a weird career path, dude.
He's had injuries.
A lot of wasted potential with him.
No,
dude.
Chip Kelly fucked him over big time with the gang shit. You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they cut him in 2011 because he got some picture came out of him like throwing gang signs and they cut him. He really got fucked over. Where did he go after that? That wasn't when he went to Tampa Bay. Washington. That's right.
Balled in Washington too.
Oh yeah, with RG3.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. He made RG3 look really good.
Real good.
And then RG3 got hurt.
Yeah.
Then he went to Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay for 1 or 2 years, was it?
And he hated it there. They had a big problems with him. And then he went back to Philly, right?
Now he's back in Philly and he looked like the old DJ yesterday. But yeah, he's had some injury issues too. I wonder what he does next year. I mean, he's still a deep threat. He's still at 34. He's still one of the most terrifying deep threats in the league. Yeah, is basically what he looked like yesterday. So that says a lot about his actual speed. So yeah, Cowboys. I think the Cowboys might make the playoffs. I don't see. It depends on, I think, a lot of whether or not Alex Smith plays. Because if Alex Smith plays for Washington, who are they playing?
And if he's actually healthy, I don't know. How healed do you think Alex Smith really is? Or do they just really need him?
I don't know. It's a good question. That's going to be, that's the last game of the week. That's the Sunday night game is the Washington game. So I like when they do that, when it's essentially a playoff game at the last game of the regular season. It's good move. Keep us engaged. So worst QB picks. God. 2 weeks in a row, my quarterback didn't even play. Who is responsible for these reporters? That's what I want. Somebody needs to be held accountable for telling us last week that Minshew was playing and Mariota was playing, because I definitely read that on multiple articles and multiple sites.
No, I saw that too. Yeah.
Like, what the hell is that shit? Minshew, I get, because they were tanking for Trevor Lawrence. They're doing the right thing, by the way, for their organization. They knew what they were doing. They're like, we're going to lose on purpose. We can get Trevor Lawrence. Good for us. So yeah, they benched Minshew on purpose, even though he was healthy. Mariota, I just didn't think Derek Carr was going to come back and play this past week. He looked like he was pretty hurt, and they were saying 2 weeks minimum before the game or before.
But he played good.
He played great. He played like Derek Carr. I just, they were reporting that injury as being worse than it was. So Lonnie, I didn't even look at how many points Darnold got. I think he got a lot. I think
he didn't play badly at all.
He didn't play bad at all, and you still won all 3 of the awarded worst QB points. So that puts you ahead of me by 1 point in the worst in the competition overall. Now, tonight we got DraftKings, and we're gonna do worst QB picks. But let's do. Do you guys want to start with worst QB picks? I've got the list right here.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked at it because I just barely found the list right before. So I'm gonna have first pick. Vital, you'll have second pick because I have not scored any points in the last 2 weeks. So me first, then Lonnie. All right. Do you guys want to cross-reference? I feel like we should cross-reference this with.
I've got a list up to here too.
Okay, so I found a list of the rankings overall, and I'm also going to try to cross-reference it with ESPN to see who's questionable, see if there's any actual updates on their injuries. Hang on 1 second. Let me pull up both lists. Whole QBs. It's tough though, man, because there's going to be a bunch of teams that are going to be just kind of throwing guys in there to see what they've got this time of year. Okay. Let's start at the bottom of the list. Mike Glennon, Jacksonville against at Indianapolis. Kind of think Glennon's still going to play, although they have already secured the number 1 pick. So they could easily throw Minshew in there if they want to. I'm gonna steer clear.
Have they secured their number 1 pick?
Yeah, it's official. The Jets have 2 wins.
What if they win?
The Jags have the tiebreaker. Right term, but the Jags have the tiebreaker for the number 1 pick. They could end up with the same record as the Jets, and they still get the number 1 pick for whatever reason.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly it is. They're saying Brandon Allen, Cincinnati. Once again, I do not trust Cincinnati.
Yeah, he played pretty well yesterday.
It's not just that he played pretty well, but he did. They're playing against the Ravens, but I don't trust that he's going to be the quarterback again. Is it going to be Brandon Allen, or are they going to throw in what's his face, the other dude? Once again, I just don't trust those teams. Like, I don't know who they're. You know what I mean? They make those Ryan Finley. They might just be like, oh, we want to see what Ryan Finley's got again this game. I don't know.
Yeah, but maybe not starting.
Who knows? I didn't see. He was another one. We didn't pick him, but Ryan Finley was supposed to play for Cincinnati, and then last minute they just decided to go with Brandon Allen. Andy Dalton at the Giants. Kind of surprised he's that low on the list. Daniel Jones against the Cowboys. Sam Darnold against the Patriots. Alex Smith against the Eagles. Teddy Bridgewater against the Saints. The Saints going to have anything to play for? I think they're still playing for seeding, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
they can still get the first round bye, right?
Yeah, they're going hard. CJ Beathard against the recently decent Seahawks defense. And they do like to run the ball heavy in San Francisco. Chase Daniel.
Nick Mullins got hurt?
Yeah. I think CJ Beathard was the – I don't know if he got hurt or not, but CJ Beathard played last week. Chase Daniel. Oh, is Matt Stafford for sure out?
I have him as questionable on this.
I have him as questionable too. God damn it. I can't afford to take another one of those. I really can't. I can't afford another disqualification. Well, I had a nice lead on Lonnie, and it just evaporated. Jared Goff against Arizona. Drew Lock against Las Vegas. None of these are great matchups. Tua against Buffalo. The Fitzmagic aspect of that system right now might make Tua kind of
I mean, it's a smart pick but also if they get off to a good start.
I know it's a risky pick too. Trubisky's playing well. Carr's playing well. Matt Ryan at Tampa, he's had a couple tough outings.
But I think
that'll be his last game
though.
for the Falcons, I would imagine.
You think so? Forever and ever?
Probably.
He's another guy I wouldn't mind seeing in New England.
I think he'll be there.
You think he'll be in Atlanta, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's played poorly. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do – oh, God, this is really tough. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on this pick too. I think I'm going to take Daniel Jones against the Cowboys.
Okay.
Do I want that shit? No, wait, hold on. That sounded bad. No, I'm going to take CJ Beathard against Seattle.
All right.
CJ Beathard, Seattle. All right. Vital, who you got? God, I hope fucking wait. Is CJ Beathard definitely going to play? Is Jimmy G out? Oh, man, I'm second guessing everything. I can't imagine.
I think I will go with Bridgewater. Oh, wait, in New Orleans.
I almost went that route. All right, I'm sticking with CJ Beathard. Open pray. Wait, let me just double check. Hold on a second.
Yeah, go for it.
I just need to verify that Jimmy G is not a maybe because you said they weren't going to.
I have him on IR. I have Jimmy and Nick Mullins on IR.
Both of them are on IR right now. What's the write up on them?
I'm going to search them separately.
Hang on a sec. Because you said, Vital, you guys I think both said that you didn't think they were going to play Kittle again, and they played Kittle. And I know he was on a snap count, but he still did okay.
Yeah, it was surprising, actually.
Kind of. I mean, it wasn't surprising that he did well, but it was a little bit surprising they played him okay. Jimmy G isn't expected to be activated. Nick Mullins. I don't think Mullins is even eligible. Yeah, he's headed for surgery. All right, I guess I'm gonna stick with CJ Beathard. Vital, you're going Teddy B?
Yeah.
All right, Lonnie, who you got?
I'm between. I don't know. The thing is I don't know if it's going to be Mike Glennon or Gardner Minshew.
No, that's the problem. I like those. Both of them very likely will suck.
Right.
And actually, I think I like the Bengals pick. If you give me any Bengals quarterback, but who knows who it's going to be? I really, But yeah, Bengals quarterback versus Baltimore. I'll take those guys all day.
Right, but I don't know.
Yeah. Jacksonville and Cincinnati. You don't know.
I think I'm just going to have to go with Sam Darnold, the guy that got me here.
Sam Darnold, the guy that got you here. All right. Darnold, it is. This is going to get real interesting after this coming week because we're going to be picking.
Then we're going to have to be picking quarterbacks, like real quarterbacks.
Real good quarterbacks. That's going to make it a whole different thing altogether.
Hold on. Let's see.
Are you checking? Are you double checking? Darnold has put up two really good games in a row. He's 2-0 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm.
He won you this week, but by default. I'm confident that both my and Vital's picks we're going to do worse than yours.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they start. That's maybe.
That's the thing. It's like that's why
I know we're going to start.
I can't imagine CJ Beathard's not going to start. I can't imagine Teddy Bridgewater's not going to start. It wouldn't.
I mean, honestly, I'm picking Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Because he's a lock to start. You know what I mean? Just because he's a lock to play.
That's true. Good point.
And it's New England. So
yeah,
they have his number,
They kind of do. They should. They should have his number. We'll see what they do tonight. I'm really curious to see how New England performs when nothing's on.
Oh, God. Do I go with, I don't know, Ryan Finley, Brandon Allen?
It's like if you hit one of those, you're probably going to win. That's the thing. It's a 50-50 chance at winning.
And then also, so it's the same with Gardner Minshew and
Glennon? Yeah.
Mike Glennon too, but I don't know.
It's 50-50, but you'll probably win if you pull the trigger on them. If I needed points desperately, like we're all jammed up pretty close, 30, 31, and 34. I'm not taking any risks. I want to get at least 1 point. I want to give myself a chance to get at least 1 point and not fall so far behind this week. And the Seahawks defense is there. I mean, Jamal Adams is playing really well. He looks healthy, kind of ball hawking right now.
I don't know, man. I can't pull the trigger on this Bengals thing.
You're not in desperate straits anymore. I mean, if you were still down
No.
6, I might be thinking twice, but all right.
All right, I'm going to stick with Sam Darnold.
Darnold it is. Okay, so last question. Did you guys fill out DraftKings yet?
Yeah.
You did. Who's your captain? Who's your daddy?
I don't even know his name. Josh Allen.
Yeah, me too.
Ball out.
I think I also picked Josh Allen. Oh,
I was going back between him and Diggs, but I don't think.
I was
that
also
really good corner, and I think he might be stuck on Diggs.
Yeah, their rookie corner, I think, is the guy who. And
he's not a rookie. The one
you're not talking about Gilmore. I think Gilmore's out.
Gilmore's done for the season.
Yeah, but they do have a rookie who's been phenomenal. So I did not pick Diggs. Also, I picked Josh Allen. Who'd you pick, Lonnie? Did you say Allen? Yeah. So we're all on Josh Allen for our thing. So really, it's just going to come down to the rest of the guys. I didn't pick Diggs, and I'll tell you why. Since none of us are on Diggs, the Patriots like to take away your best player, your best option, whatever it is. Diggs is clearly their best option. So I think that's probably what they're gonna say. All right, let's stop Diggs and see who else can beat us. That's the Patriots' philosophy defensively. We'll see how it plays out. All right, well, this has been fun. Steve, thank you for joining us, league champion.
Congrats, Steve. You did good this season, bro.
Congrats. Son of a bitch.
I forgot to ask you. Vital, I forgot to ask you though. Have you started Sean's poem yet?
Yeah, actually I did. I have like half of it done. I feel like half, but like I'm gonna finish it and send you guys a draft this weekend, I guess.
Is
Perfect.
it angry?
What?
Is it angry?
No, it's really about him being on the Giants' dick and mistakes made.
That's great. I love it. I'm thinking we'll probably try to see if we can get him to do a CNI open mic. Not necessarily the All Arts one, because I think that would conflict with maybe one of my shows or something like that. I might conflict with the Blue Jean Blues show. And so I want to have maximum participation, something right in the middle where Lonnie could come up, where people could come down. Try to get as many people out for it as we can. And CNI is like a really good place, I think, for that.
Yeah, CNI is a good spot.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's
the video will look good. It's, usually there's some real people there. A lot of comics. We'll get to see it.
I can't wait to use my new trophy.
That's right. We're going to try to do the trophy presentation.
You're not supposed to use it.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you going to
Does that helmet come off?
I don't know. Probably not. Gross. Okay. Okay. So for anybody who watches and listens, we know your fantasy season is all over with, but we're going to fire up DraftKings starting week 17 of the NFL season. And we're going to be doing DraftKings tournaments all through the playoffs. So we're going to do one big tournament try to do one big tournament for all of the games, I think, on Sunday. And then we'll probably do all of the playoff games lumped into one big thing, one big tournament. So if you want to play against us, find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, send me a message, or you can write something in. I don't know if it'll work on YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram, best way to get in touch. Send me your handle. I'll add you to our league, our fantaCTE league in DraftKings, and you can play against us for the rest of the season. We're going to keep it going, keep it fun. All right. And for those of you who want to, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Chromecasts, and Anchor, as well as a bunch of other sites. So check us out on those. And I think
it's been a great season. As salty as my loss was, had a really great time. Good season.
This has been a lot of fun.
Good team. I probably had a better team this year than I've had in a long time. So it was fun to watch, and it was a great season. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
me too. I would want to say I learned a lot this season, and I also learned nothing at all at the same time.
Steve, what you did that was very impressive is you picked up a lot of guys that ended up being gangsters. Like you picked up Deontay Johnson and DeAndre Swift. And I don't think you drafted either of those guys, right?
No. I was telling Nick earlier, I did a lot of reading of paragraphs, week to week. And I would pick 3 or 4 guys and make a determination. And I was lucky. I got lucky.
No, I mean, you weren't lucky. You ended up with some of the best guys in the league. So I don't think it's luck, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading it. You know, you just you learn how to. I was comprehending.
That's not luck, bro. If you read a manual, like if Bill Belichick's reading something that another team isn't, that's not necessarily luck.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm not saying I did make great choices, as Nick always likes to say.
You did. You made very good choices this year, and
I had fun.
You're getting no help next year, Steve. Just so you know.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, your rookiness is over.
Ago, Steve was asking me questions at Funky Buddha, like who's who. I had
no idea.
No, dude, I know nothing.
Of the league, bro. Like I'm mad.
Yeah. Now you're one of the veterans of the league, and you're going to be the reigning champion in our league next year.
We're all gunning for you now. Now you have gone from Babe in the Woods to head chimp that we're all going to be trying to rip apart as a team collectively against. So
do I get to benefit anyway, or am I get screwed drafting next year?
No, you get to benefit with $300. That's your benefit. Spend it wisely.
It's already gone.
And a trophy. Almost 300 and a trophy.
And a trophy
comes out of the money.
By the way, I love that I won, but it's not the best because now in the next year, I want to win, but I won.
Oh, believe me, you're gonna want to repeat because you know how much shit you talk if you repeat. I mean,
I've never actually had anyone repeat.
I've never seen it before. Yeah, so I set a record in one of my leagues for most top 3 finishes consecutively in my cousin's league.
That's happened, but to win back to back in fantasy, dude,
I've never seen it ever. So
okay, now I have a goal now. I'm gonna.
You're not gonna do it because I'm gonna beat you this time.
I'm definitely winning next season. My trajectory is like this.
You guys
watch now. I'm gonna fucking jinx it.
I would have had this week. I would have had the highest scoring team if I had set my lineup, and that's without McCaffrey.
Whatever, Nick. If you didn't knock me out of my playoff spot, I would probably be the champ right now. We got to crunch these numbers, but if you didn't snake my spot for me out of nowhere,
if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So
that's right.
I felt like the turtle all year, just slowly, steadily. I'd lose one, win some, lose.
No, you were annihilating teams.
Yeah, you were 9-4, and you were the highest scoring team in the league. Like you were always a problem.
Healthy Devontae Adams all season, bro.
Yeah.
I think I was telling somebody I didn't move 6 guys the entire year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Unless they were on a bye or or hurt or something. But I had 6 guys. I didn't move.
That's healthy. I think that's the key. A lot of us are really injuries, bro. You get a healthy
dude.
team.
I mean, I got to the championship because my guys were pretty much consistently healthy the whole year.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson was really my biggest disappointment this year, and he was still okay. But I overreached for him. I kind of learned my lesson, which is, we talked at the beginning of the season. That's why you don't grab a quarterback in the second round.
You passed on, and everyone did. You passed on Devontae Adams.
I passed on Devontae Adams. I passed on Josh Allen. I passed on.
I mean, for in Lamar's position, and I did the same thing with Chris Godwin. But we passed on Devontae. That was the.
But I also ended up with DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. Receiver was not my problem. What I needed was running backs.
Yes.
And I did pass on some good running backs.
I don't want to say I was smart in picking Devontae Adams, but he was next.
He's definitely next.
If I said auto draft, Steve, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I wasn't on an auto draft. I was picking, but I was picking. Remember, after the 3rd round, I went and picked Tom Brady because I didn't know anybody else's names. So I'm picking somebody I know.
Brady was also a great pick that nobody was looking at that spot, and you fucking nailed it with him.
I just figured he's new team. He's gonna kick ass because he's Brady,
and
that's all I thought.
That is.
But you started with Dak, didn't you? Didn't you have Dak originally?
I started with Dak.
You had Dak.
I had Dak. I had a team when we started this thing.
Steve took Zeke, and I said before that if Zeke was available, I would have drafted him for sure.
Yeah.
But that ended up saving my season.
Yeah. Well, a lot of speculation we can do. We're gonna have a lot to talk about next season, and I think the league is gonna come back even stronger next year because, and I don't know who's gonna drop out, if anyone's gonna drop out, but we're definitely gonna add teams in who are ballers. I think Dom, Anthony, Terzo's join in. Probably Ryan Scott. Those guys are all
I think we're going to be well over 14. Like we'll be
yeah.
quick.
We'll see if anybody drops out, because there's some teams that may decide not to come back next year, and that's okay if that's what the route they go. But the teams that we have coming in look like tough outs. Guys who really know their stuff. So we're gonna have to be on our game for next year, and I think it's gonna be a really tough season. So
I blew my chance this year.
I like a good fantasy league like that though, where like everyone scores 90 points, dude. Then you really gotta think. Dude.
Yes.
I like when everybody's good and everyone's engaged. That's that's the goal, and we'll get there. And I think by next year we might be there where we have all teams top to bottom very competitive.
Everyone ready to have one running back.
No. We're doing 2 backs again. It's what makes this league challenging, man. It makes it hard. It gives running backs value.
Big value.
All right. Well, let's sign off. Oh, before we go, any comedy events? Anything you guys are planning on?
No, I have a show in February, but I'll plug it again later.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
I'll be at the Red Light on the 17th of January.
Red Light up in West Palm Beach.
Up in West Palm Beach.
Great. Featuring, right?
Featuring at the Red Light.
That's awesome. All right.
That's Abby Ballin's show?
No, it's she did it yesterday, but it's
right.
Bobby Mack is the guy who runs the show. So you guys should definitely reach out to Bobby and see about getting a spot there. See what his schedule is like.
Always down to see some nipples.
Well, you have to wait till after the show to go next.
Yeah, there's no strippers in the show.
He's not talking about
bullshit. Then I refuse.
Oh, okay. I'll show you my nipples.
I will pay the strippers to come to the show.
Yeah, seriously. I want to pretend I'm Lenny Bruce.
Guys, hold on. Hold the phone. We're about to get off, but we got one write-in. I don't know who this is. JB and KC. Hey guys, just lurking here. What's up, JB? I was just wondering how much you think I should worry tonight. I'm in the championship. I'm down 7.8 points, ESPN PPR, with the Bills defense as my last player.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that could go any kind of way, bro.
You're gonna get some sacks. They're gonna sack Cam Newton for sure. Most likely they're gonna get after it.
7.8.
I don't know. I mean, you can definitely win for sure tonight. But it's a divisional game, man. Cam Newton's trying to save his job. Bill Belichick's trying to save some face. I do not envy you, my friend.
You know what? It makes me feel good though that there are championships that are coming right down to the wire.
Yeah.
At least you got a chance.
Stress for him. I'm going to be thinking about that the whole time I'm watching the game now.
I know.
He's ruined the game for me.
Are they at 7.8? We'll be rooting for you, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the show. Good luck tonight. I hope you win. And if you want to play in our DraftKings League, find us on Facebook and or Instagram. Send me a message with your handle, and we'll add you in so you can play DraftKings with us against us for the rest of the football season. All right.
All right, guys.
Happy New Year! If I don't see you guys, have a good
Happy New Year.
And
we'll
be back. As far as anybody watching the show wants to watch us again, we'll be back in about a week and a half for playoff specials. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.